Okay, I think I'm streaming. I should be streaming. I forgot to do the double check. Do I have everything? Okay, I think I'm streaming. Okay, good. I can hear my own audio. I forgot. Yep, alright. That's good. And then, I did not open the trick list yet, so I didn't even turn on my keyboard. Alright, there we go. There's that. Okay, and then let's see. I had notes from last time that I'm seeing just now again, so I'm not doing it. Hey Chan, welcome in. How's it going? How are you? How's your weekend? Gibson Lens, hey, how's it going? Welcome in. How are you doing tonight, Bert? Okay, let's see. Then I'm just gonna post this here. All right. Thanks for shouting out Chan. Capcom Cup Finals are on. Oh, okay, that's so cool. All right, I've heard about them. I've never actually watched them, but that's cool. Let's see. Chan says my day is going good. How about you? My day has been pretty decent, I would say. Um, yesterday I had a nice weekend. Yesterday I went to hang out with some friends for the first time in like I would say years, I guess, for all of those friends because pandemic and people had kids and stuff. So, um, but yeah, it was a good time. So busy yesterday doing in real life partying. That was fun. All right, before I do anything, let's get the cheating gloves on because I don't want to be caught ungloved. I don't want to use the other popular analogy. Because, yeah. I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to get canceled. Let's see. Chan says, I've been having a little bit of a cold these past couple of days, but I'm a little bit better. Oh, Chan, I'm sorry. My sympathies. Um, I was sick last week, so I kind of feel you. I understand. But, yeah, I got better this week, so hopefully you have some good rest and recovery so that you feel better. Okay. Well, while I'm here, let's show this off for a little bit. Because, why not? It's also kind of blinding. I can't look like directly at it. um, but because otherwise my eyes like so yeah, besides being sick, I've been all right. Been pretty good. Can't complain. So yeah, this year the big convention that I'm definitely going to be going to is Gen Con. Slight update on that. So today was Gen Con housing portal getting opened. It happens in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they do this thing where everybody's given like a time slot to get housing. It starts at noon, so if you're lucky, your time slot might be closer to noon. But mine was close to 4 p.m. Eastern, and by the time I got on, there were no rooms available. So, luckily, my two buddies that I'm probably going to be going with, one of them got a room about 7 miles or 8 miles away from the convention center, so we can get that, and then we can ride share in, or my other friend got one by I guess the airport, which might be like 8 or 9 miles away. So kind of same deal. If it's just the three of us, we might end up just canceling all the rooms except for one, and then just going to that one, but okay. All right. Let's see here. Next, queue is open. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? Let's see. So in the interim, let's. So thanks for the shout out to Chan the Magic Man. So guys, if you're not following our friend Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians that has a regular magic schedule on Twitch, does Magic Mondays. So be sure to catch him tomorrow. And he also started using StreamerSonglist for his tricks as well. He also has music that he writes. And so he has both music, songs, and tricks in his song list and trick list. So whereas I only have tricks. Then of course, let's give a shout out to our friend Charlie's Beats. Charlie, welcome in. How's it going? So Charlie is a gamer, musician. So I see him in many chats. Allegedly, he streams sometimes. So please give our friend Charlie a follow. And then also, if you're not following our friend and mod, Gibson Lens, please give Bert a follow. His name's Bert. I imagine people who are here probably already know that, but just in case you don't. But yeah, Gibson Lens plays piano and sight reads from songbooks that he physically has. I make a joke in chat because when he tries to fight with the songbook, I feel like the ultimate boss is the physical songbook and turning the pages. But anyway, but he plays a bunch of stuff, VGM, and he has a lot of his own composed originals, so check those out. Okay, oh, we have a request. Thanks for the request, Chan the Magic Man. Alright, so what we have here is Trading Kings. Okay. Alright, so getting a warm-up in with Trading Kings. I actually don't know if I've warmed up with this trick before. I've definitely done it early, but like I feel like this is like a powerful effect in which you end up wanting to show somebody, like after you show some other people some stuff and then get them like interested in seeing more, and then this is like I call this the 1, 2, 3 punch, because there's 3 points in which the magic happens, and those of you who've seen this trick before know what's going on. So yeah. Anyway, alright, I have 2 piles of cards. They're from different decks, because this one is red-backed, and these are blue-backed. But I just want you to know that they are all kings, and I'm going to need 2 kings selected. Actually, I need them to be different, so let's just to make sure that they're different, let's have one of them be black, one of them be red. Chan, if you're there in chat, if you would like to select the suits, please let me know. So the black suits that you could choose from are spades and clubs, and the red suits you can choose from are hearts and diamonds. So go ahead and select them now, and while we're waiting, if everybody's been sitting around for a while and has not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. So normally I have black tea, but it's like super diluted black tea. But I started realizing, I think, that perhaps I was having caffeinated tea too late, and that might have been affecting my sleep. So as an experiment for the past 2 weeks or so, I've not been having any caffeinated tea, even diluted after like a certain hour. Usually it's like 8. But yeah, so I'm having it's not real green tea, but it's like herbal green tea. So okay, all right. Let me see. Do I have a? Let me see. Okay, I know I have a thing for random card. So whatever suit this is. Oh wait, Chan's got one. Okay. Chan's got hearts and spades. That's perfect because spades was one of the randomly selected one. Okay. Amazing. FYI. Oh, no worries. FYI, I never get a chance to use my random card function, so it's good to see that it's still working. So for anybody who didn't know, I have a random card function. It'll randomly select a card. No worries, Chan. Don't worry. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We can go ahead and flip over the spades and the hearts. And, believe it or not, they are going to turn face up in their respective piles. Because look, what did I say? Spades, right? Spades. And then, just one finger. Hearts. And that's the first punch. That's like, oh my god. That's when the audience is like, hey, that's weird. That shouldn't have happened. But here's the second punch. Thank you for the emotes, Chan. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Chan knows how to do this, so. But Chan said that he loves acting as though he doesn't. That he's like, oh, I see it for the first time. So thank you very much for the emotes, Chan. So here we are. I'm now going to give you the second punch. So actually, if you're like a fan of boxing, right, the first punch is like a jab. It's just to get you warmed up. And then the next punch, this is like the follow-up, the follow-through. The Trek Nerd says, magic time! That's crazy! Welcome in, the Trek Nerd. I'm not here. Oh, okay. Alright, sorry. Everybody just disregard what I just said, because apparently the Trek Nerd is not here. Shh. 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 Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm now going to do the follow-through. So jab, punch. Would you believe that not only did I flip them face up, I actually swapped them in the piles that they were in. So for example, that this King of Hearts is actually the red-backed King of Hearts, and this King of Spades is the blue-backed King of Spades. Because, watch carefully. No way, says Chan. Gibson Lens has the data laughing emote. Even though I'm sure that it probably sounds creepier than that, but I can't emulate the Android that well. So that's the follow through. But then there's also the uppercut. So this is where, especially if you're a lay person or if you've never seen it before, this is where I want jab, punch, uppercut. Would you believe that that was actually all you could have chosen? I know I did lie a little bit earlier, but you couldn't have chosen any other cards because there's actually no other kings here. Because if I go ahead and I show you, these other cards are all completely blank. No way, says Chan. And to that I would say, yes way. And that's the 1, 2, 3 punch. That is Trading Kings. Sorcery, says Chan. Yes, sorcery. I do have to. So I think I've been a little bit bad about putting my disclaimer at the end of a couple of last streams, but the disclaimer is, yes, there's no sorcery, black magic, or deals with the devil. Everything can be achieved with sleight of hand card magic. But if I really did have magic and I was just using it to do card tricks, this would be the best cover story. I would always tell people this, regardless of whether the powers were real or not. Right? Chan, thank you kindly for the claps. Greatly appreciate it. And Chan, thank you kindly for the request. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Good warm up, good warm up. I can say I could probably say that I've never warmed up to that before, like on stream. So good pick, good pick. Okay. Okay, let me see what I had as far as like boss tricks. Because I vaguely remember there was maybe one. Oh, okay. I think it was because I was using weird cards. But you know what? It's okay, we can do it anyway. Will you use the Jack of Spades for another trick since you generated it? I mean, if you want, I could use it for a trick now. I was actually going to use the Jokers, but I could use the Blackjacks. The Blackjacks are very, very magical. So yeah, we can do that right now. Okay, how do I want to do this? Very carefully. Okay, so we have the two blackjacks here, and the two blackjacks are going to be helping us do something interesting. They're going to be helping us trying to find some other cards from the deck. And so the thing is, we're not entirely sure how it's going to manifest, but if I just go ahead and I have a card and I toss it from here, let's say I wanted it to be this card. Ready? Watch. There it is. It got tossed right over. You're probably wondering what this card is. Well, the Jacks are really proficient at getting specific cards. In this case, some of the most powerful cards in the deck. The mods. I mean, the aces. I say the mods because Gibson Lens is a mod. But anyway, so you sometimes think that perhaps we could only do it with them face up. But you know what? Perhaps we could try doing it while they're face down as well. And so, look, so we've got a card over here. And look, I'm going to toss it, and it will appear face up because they will turn them. Watch, 1, 2. I don't know if you saw that, but there it is. Is that strange? Ace of clubs. And of course, these are the same two blackjacks we've been using. By the way, Ace of Clubs not yet signed. If anybody's interested in signing a card, we have a few ways you can sign a card. So there you go. Let's see, what else? We can do something else, like if I turn them all face down, and once again, if I just go ahead and I... Let's take a card. Once again. That didn't do anything. It didn't jump over. Hold on. It still didn't jump over. That's amazing. Alright, that's okay. Here, I will just manually grab it into my hand. It's there, it's just invisible. Okay, ready? Watch. And that is our other ace. Ace of ace of diamonds. And then finally, our last one. So we have our two jacks. So let me go ahead and we'll just go ahead and grab this. And we'll do it face down with the face down deck. There we have it. And of course, here are two blackjacks, and The Ace of Spades. Also signed by our friend Charlie's Beats. Alright. And that, my friends, is I improv the trick a little bit. So I've done this trick before, but I improv like the display and like making them appear a different way. So hopefully that looked good. That was actually, that was Hellman's Aces. So let me put that into the trick queue. Actually, I didn't say it was a boss trick, but that's a boss trick. Yeah, we encountered the boss, and I think we beat the boss. So, well done. Well done, Nam. I think I did okay. I don't think I messed anything up. I think the quote-unquote part that it looked like I messed up, I think I swung with it pretty well. I didn't intend to do that, but I'm like, oh, happy accident makes it seem extra convincing that nothing fishy is going on. So, that was nice. I think that looked pretty good. Alright, and I can mark off Hellman's Aces from the boss trick. And I think that's it, currently. The Trek Nerd says, I was suitably perplexed and astounded. Excellent. Thank you kindly, the Trek Nerd. Greatly appreciate the compliments. Okay, let's see. In the interim, queue is open. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Let's see, in the meantime, I do have to copy and paste this one other thing. Yeah, as far I forgot to update my spreadsheet for today's stream. I know sometimes I do it after, but I was like, I'm already in there. So let's see. Okay, I would want to update the boss trick because I think there aren't currently any. Alright, there we go. Okay, whew. Alright. Let's see. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about the party I went to yesterday. So, seeing some friends that I haven't seen in a while, but a lot of them know that I've gotten into Magic. I've been doing it, and some of them have seen pretty, what I would consider, I guess, impressive tricks. But two of them, a couple, when I first started getting into it, and I went to show them a magic trick the first time, they were like, oh, wait, do you know this guy? And I'm like, wait, I'd heard his name, and it's because I had met him at Magic Club. But as it turns out, I wasn't able to really show them anything at that point. But and I'm like, man, I'm competing with this other guy because they were neighbors with him, so they would see him, and he's been doing magic for like 20 years. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if there's anything I could possibly show them that would be that amazing, because they've lived next to a magician for 20 years. Well, I started showing some other people magic at the party yesterday, and I know this is one friend that I've shown a bunch of tricks, and but I haven't ever had him sign a card. So I had him sign a card, but this couple was watching, and after I finished the first trick, the girl from the couple was like, "Whoa, that was amazing!" And I'm like, "Awesome!" Like, so I guess I can show some things. I don't know if it was just like my attitude. Like I was very confident because it's like some of the tricks that I've been doing forever. Like it was literally the one trick that I did 50 bajillion times at TwitchCon. So I had it down pat. I almost messed up during a part of it, but it's nothing to see. And also, it's being in when you're in real life and you're performing, it's like way easier to get away with some stuff. So the Trek Nerd says, "My bad attitude is my worst enemy," says the Trek Nerd. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that's the truth, because like oftentimes a lot of people think, "Oh man, I can't do this, I can't do that." And they think it's because of some external factors, when most of the time it's really because, you know, you just need to convince yourself that yes, you can do it, or you will be able to do it. Just put some time into it. Um, so yeah, I kind of want. So sometimes I do have this thought process where it's like, no, I can't do that. It's against the rules, blah blah blah. But like, I want to get away from that kind of thinking in front of my daughter, and so like, I want my daughter to be able to have like a future thought process where even if something is like it goes against like tradition or it goes against accepted normal things, but if it's like if it's a good idea to still have it, right? And not to like cut it short because it's like, oh no, you can't think like that. So that's, yeah. And actually being a magician has kind of fostered that kind of thought process for me, I think, a little bit, because I now think, oh, hey, I now see a magical effect, and it's not like I know exactly how that's done, but I'm thinking of ways in which that could be achieved, and there's like 3 or 4 different ways, and it's like they're all equally valid so long as they look good, right? So, the Truck Nerd says, it's only impossible until you make it possible. Truth. Truth. For sure. Let's see. Let me try doing... Okay, I want to try doing something here. Actually. Mark Rides, welcome in. Hello, how's it going? How are you, Mark Rides? Doing good, says Mark Rides. Let's see. The Truck Nerd says, I give good attitude advice, but I don't follow it, lol. There are times in which it's like, a lot of people know what the right thing to do is, and they just don't do it. So, I feel like that's not just any individual person. That's an everybody sometimes thing. It's just like you're more disciplined if you can, follow the good advice more often than, never, right? 3 travelers is kind of easy. Let's up your game. Let's make it 6 travelers. Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me see how I can do this. 6 travelers? Okay. Hold on. Alright, before I was going to try and theme it something differently. I may have to just keep the theme the same because I'm going to try and technically figure out how to deal with this. 3 travelers is kind of easy. I mean, you're not wrong. I've done that trick enough. Okay. Let me see. How could I do this? This is going to be... Alright. Well, let's just start, and then we'll see we'll see how it goes. I may have to abandon the trick halfway in, or it may seem extra repetitive. Okay, so we have a bunch of cards here. The ace through 6 of diamonds. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave them over here. Use more of those fingers that are just they're just hanging there doing nothing. I mean, whoa. They're not really doing nothing most of the time. Actually, I think the finger that's probably the most useless is my ring finger as far as like doing a ton of stuff. Alright, so here's the 6, here's the 5. I don't know if I gave away too much talking about my ring finger being the useless one. Here's the 4. Okay, here's the... I've been practicing King Street after watching the card mechanic. Oh! That's awesome! Mark Rides, that's super cool. 3. Yeah, I've seen the card mechanic on YouTube. I've watched some of his things. There's our 2. Alright, so 2. So ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our ace. Okay. Alright. That's super cool, Mark. So are you attempting to practice some magic or just the performance of this one trick? Because, I mean, if you could do King Street, right? That like without one trick, it's a long trick. It's very entertaining. So I learned the secret, but still not good at. And sometimes I confuse myself. Yeah, so remembering where you are in the trick is sometimes pretty difficult. I want to learn that. Then you can do lots more stuff. Yeah, if you learn like a very long-winded trick like that, you end up remembering a bunch of things about it. Like it'll give you some tools for some other things for potentially shorter or easier tricks. Um, okay, so we have the ace. If I take the ace and I place it at the bottom of the deck, and I go ahead and I have the elevator, somebody approach the elevator and press the up button, the ace should be able to jump back up to the top. Excellent. So now if I take this and I place the 2 on the top, but I press the elevator button and it actually sends them down, they're actually going to go down. Now if I take the 3 and I place it on the bottom and I press the up elevator button, the 3 is actually going to come back up to the top. I know, super weird, right? Now if I take the 4 and I place it on the top and I press it down on the elevator, that's actually going to move the 4 all the way down to the bottom. I know, that's super weird. So now if I take the 5 and I place it on the bottom and I press the up elevator button, that's actually going to make the 5 come back up to the top, like this. I know, super strange, right? Now if I take the... Let me see here. Don't want to give away any secrets. Okay, so, alright. So here's what we're going to do. If I go ahead and I show you that we have our 6 right there, right? And then what we're going to do is... let's see. So, hold on. We have our 6 here. Here's what I want to do. I actually want to take the 6, place it here. Hey, there's the transporter sound. It's going to transport it from here to here. Because now if I show you, there is our 6 of diamonds. And that, my friends, is the 6 travelers. That's like a full away party, right? Or no, because the transporter room is limited to 4? Oh, no, it's 6. Well, I guess it depends on if you're talking about classic Trek. I guess it probably depends on which class of ship you're talking about, too, because the transporter like room sizes are different. But for next gen, there's 6, right? So, Galloway, hello, welcome in, Galloway. How you doing? And that, my friends, was 6 travelers instead of 3 travelers, and I basically came up with that on the spot. So I was like, how do I do this? I'm like, I still have to end it the same way, but I think it might actually be easier to make it 5. I think 5 would probably be the ideal size for that, actually. So, because I think I had to do something super wonky. I don't think anybody noticed, but in my mind, I'm like, that could be streamlined. Like, so not bad, I would say. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see. And they don't always need the transporter room. They could use the transporter badges and beam to the bridge. Oh, yeah. They call that site-to-site transport, right? So, which, if you really think about it, right, did they ever really need the transporter room in the first place? Because technically, that's just like the default place that they go to or come from, right? So conceptually, like I don't know if it made sense, because if you can break down matter at the atomic level and then recombine it to be the exact same thing, I mean, there's that philosophical issue of, every time you enter a transporter, do you die? But aside from that, like, doing a site-to-site transport, there shouldn't really be any issues, even with like the original series tech, right? Like, so, yeah, like the transporter room is like a formality, basically. You would actually think that, now that I'm thinking about it, right? would it, because if that's where all of the tech for the transporter exists, it's actually a security breach if somebody goes through that isn't like trusted, like a member of the crew. Like if it's random diplomats and stuff, right? You don't want them to be in that room. So it's super sensitive stuff. If they mess with something in there, people attempt to get beamed down or beamed up, and they could potentially explode, right? So it'd actually be better security wise not to have people go through the transporter room. Like, yeah, it's a story hurrier. Yes, of course. Mark writes, well, if you don't want a bunch of strangers on the bridge to transport the transporter room and then have security team on standby. Yeah, that's true. I think it takes less energy. I think that's the implication, right? That's, I mean, there's a lot of that hand wavy stuff where, um, you know, it's like, yeah. As the Trek nerd was saying, right? It's a story hurry, so it's like they don't have to show a bunch of stuff. They don't have to like create like another shuttle. Uh, back in the '60s when the first Star Trek came out, right? But then now it's like, yeah, conceptually, I guess if it takes less energy to beam into the transporter room, then it's like that would be easier because then if you transport them from one place to another place, maybe it's using twice as much power. I don't know. Like, but if they explode on the bridge, it could be worse. I mean, yes, that's true. I mean, you don't have to transport to the bridge, right? What if it's like, okay, transport me to the mess hall or something? Like, transport me to 10 forward. I want a drink from Guinan. I don't know. It takes a less studio. Yes, it takes less studio money back then, but I think by the time next gen came around, it was not really necessary, right? They had shuttles. Shuttles were actually a big thing in next gen. Um, okay, let's see here. Chan has requested Little Devil. Thanks for the request, Chan. You know what? Let's use Chan the Magic Man. Signed Queen of Clubs. And then we're going to use the red 6s and 9s. So this is a portable version of... I say portable because you don't have to rely on as many cards for this one as you do for the Devil's Elevator. But man, I miss watching Star Trek. Maybe I should watch some more Star Trek. So we have the Queen of Clubs, signed by our friend Chan, the Magic Man. And so we're gonna have Chan break out of hell. So what we have here, we're gonna go ahead and leave Chan out over here. And each of these is going to represent a different level of hell. And so if you've heard me talk about the Devil's Elevator before, hell is a business. And so as all good businesses, there's going to be a service elevator. So if you ever find yourself in one of the levels of hell, so for example, if you find yourself here on the top level, right? That's okay because that's where you are. But if you go ahead and find yourself in the second level, you'll know to get into the Devil's Elevator, and if you go ahead and let the doors close, press the up elevator button, that's actually going to bring you up to the top level where it's easiest to escape because this one's closest to the surface. So, and we'll just give that a second. You have to hear a ding, otherwise the elevator's broken. Ding. All right. There we go. So Chan has escaped and made it to the top. That's okay. The devil is like, whoa, 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 Chan, come back here. Chan doesn't want to risk anything, so Chan comes back. Chan is going to go ahead and get placed in the third level of hell. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Like so. But look. Ding. Chan is going to rise right back up to the top. And now Chan is going to get placed in the 4th level of hell right here. First, second, third, fourth. And he knows to get in the elevator. Press the elevator button. Ding. There we are. So now some people believe, oh, wait, maybe Chan was running around in all of hell, but no, that's, So we are now going to go ahead and place Chan here in the 5th level of hell. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. I will square that up cleanly. And of course, Chan knows how to get out. Presses the elevator button. He's going to rise up to the top. Ding. There we have it. Chan has made it. Oh! Oh, okay, alright. The elevator was working in the deepest depths of hell that time. Thank you for the ding, Chan the Magic Man. And that, my friends, is Little Devil. So, yeah, I like that one. That one's nice. I had forgotten how to do it the first time I learned it, and then somebody redeemed it in stream. I'm like, oh no, I forgot! But it's surprisingly a lot simpler than than the full Devil's Elevator, because you're using way fewer cards, so it's a lot easier to just literally keep track of the entire state of everything. Because with 8 cards, there's a lot more combinations of things in the stack, but then like this one is literally 5 cards, and remembering the stack of 5 cards, a lot easier. Let's see. Chan said, sorry, I had to take my NyQuil. Yeah, no worries, Chan. Totally understand. Let's see. Gibson Len says, according to this, a site-to-site transport is 2 transports. It still uses the transporter room. Interesting. Gibson Len, thanks for looking that up, because full disclosure, I was probably going to look it up later. Maybe not tonight, but I would have gotten there like later in the week and been like, hey, we were talking about sites, let me look that up. But thank you for looking that up. So that's super interesting. So if it is 2 transports, then yeah, absolutely it is twice. It is half as. Sorry, it's twice as efficient to just simply use the transporter room. Then that's cool. Good to know. I mean, this is like the useless information that is filled in our heads that I enjoy, but is ultimately not useful for anything. By the way, for anybody who just came in and missed the context on the discussion, we were talking about transporters earlier. And not just like at the surface level like Star Trek transporters, like how transporters technically are supposed to work in the Star Trek universe. So, yeah, that's the thing. Okay, let's see here. Charlie's Beats. Data laughing. I don't remember how Data laughed, but as far as I can remember, it was creepy as hell. Because, I mean, I think in this one, right, he was trying to laugh to emulate how other people were laughing, but I don't think he understood when to laugh and why to laugh. So, but later, after he got his emotion chip, laughing seemed a lot better for him. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's see what we got here. There was actually also a laugh that Q gifted him. Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot that was a thing, but yeah, that one was probably okay too, because I don't remember that one sounding creepy. Yep, says Charlie Speeds. Okay. Evening all. Hi, Ams Andrew. Welcome in. How do you do? How's your weekend so far? And him trying to emulate sneezing. Oh. Okay, I don't remember exactly how that looked and felt. I remember feeling cringy after that. Like, what? No. Okay. All right. Yeah. You know the one technology we should definitely talk about after this trick? We should talk about the holodeck. So put your holodeck thoughts in the chat. We will talk about holodecks after this trick is over. Okay, alright. So this trick is called Revolver, and it's based on another trick that uses 4 cards. But I was like, there's revolvers, but they have 6 bullets, and so I needed to make the 6 card version. So we have the Ace of Spades, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6 of spades. Now each one of these will represent the bullet that gets fired, and so the first bullet that's going to get fired is going to be the ace. And we simulate that by going ahead to make our handgun with our hand fingers. Sorry, with our gun fingers, and then we go bang, bang, and so that'll shoot the first bullet. So you notice you can still see the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 6, but now the ace has turned itself face down. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fire off the second bullet. Bang. And so you'll still be able to see the 5, 4, and the 3. Here's the 6, and the ace has turned itself face up, but the 2 has turned itself face down. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and fire off the third bullet. Bang. And so here's the 5, the 4, the 6, the ace, the 2, but now the 3 has turned itself face down. Alright, what's next? So the 4. So once we get our revolver ready, bang. And we have, here's our 5, our 6, our 4, our 3, our 2, and our ace. So the 4 is now face down. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and bang. So we're going to shoot the 5. Here we have our 6, our ace, our 4, our 2, our 3, and there's our 5. And now we're going to go ahead and do our final 6th bullet. Bang. So we have our 3, our 2, our 4, our ace, and there's our 6. So, yeah, so what we have here is our 6. And I just realized I probably did something slightly different, but these should be in order at this point. So we have ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, question, what color are the backs of these cards? I think a lot of people would say red, right? Because those are the backs that you saw each time they flipped themselves over for each one of these. But would you believe that none of these are actually red backed? Chan says blue. Chan knows where this is going. All the cards blue backed. Each and every one of them. That, my friends, is Revolver fully loaded. So now everybody can hopefully understand the 4-card version is simply to just shorten the trick because it's super repetitive. But I did that as like a magician's exercise because fiddling with all the cards and making sure they're in the right place and that kind of stuff. It was a fun, like, theoretical exercise. So probably don't perform this version for lay people. Perform the 4-card version. But you can perform this version for magicians, which ultimately really is, I think, why I created this version. So, but anyway, thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Charlie's Beats, Gibson Lens, and Charlie's Beats, thank you so much for the request. All right. Okay, what were we talking about? Holodecks. So the holodeck is super surreal. Like, how can you make energy and matter? Like, I feel like once you created all the things and you could physically interact with everything in the holodeck, that would basically be real. And I know that they've had to enact like safety protocols, but like, I don't know if so. What happens? Yeah, Charlie says now the holodeck. That's right. Which was the Galaxy Unpacked? Oh, so like okay, so if you go to a restaurant in the holodeck, right, and then you eat something, basically how I've thought about this is that it is real at that point, and then yeah, you ingest it, right? Oh, Galloway says replicators. Yeah, yeah. It's not that you couldn't make it happen, right? But I don't think there's any sort of implication that the holodeck uses replicators in addition. So the question is a holodeck also just a gigantic replicator? Like assuming everything becomes real, right? So Ames Andrew says, just a reminder to check out my highlighted text above. Oh. Okay. Request. You think you could teach a very beginner trick that I could use to have fun with my friend's 3-year-old daughter? Not sharing any of your deep dark secrets, simple stuff. Oh, Ames Andrew. Yes. Thank you for the request. Let me go ahead and yeah, I've actually shared a couple of things on stream before. So, and you know what? Let me do. So this is one, and you know what? We'll go ahead and teach the first half of this, the half that does not have the fun secret. So I guess my apologies if anybody wanted this to be a secret forever, but you know what? If when I teach people this trick, this is one of the tricks that I teach people because I end up using this to like give them a glimpse into like the types of things that we think about as magicians. I also taught this at TwitchCon, so uh, I'm not like super married to the idea of keeping this a secret forever because it's first of all a super simple trick, but it will fool people if they're not like expecting it. It was one of the first tricks that I learned like in elementary school as well. So you know, kids who are really young can do it, but they can understand it, right? That's the other thing. But yeah, so we'll do that. But anyway, all right. Before we start on this, so let me just wrap up this holodeck thing. So yeah, I would argue that the holodeck is basically a huge replicator. I don't know how it ties like once you create a person, it's still like a program running if they're not just a separate entity. Like I don't understand that if that's the stipulation. I'm still pretty decent at the DL. Oh yeah. Yeah. Everybody, Chan is very good at being down low. That's yeah, replicators plus holograms. Yeah, so I don't know. It's super strange, right? That's anyway. Okay, all right. So let me perform the trick in the way that I think you should perform it, Ames Andrew, and then I will do the explanation afterwards, and we'll go from there. And if you have questions, let me know. Okay. All right. So, Ames Andrew, here is the basic inverted card trick. So, first things first, have your spectator select a card. For the purposes of the performance, it doesn't matter that I see it, but you can choose to see it or not see it. It's probably more impressive if you choose not to see it. So what you would do is you would let them pick the card. They could pull out any card basically, and they'll look at it, tell them to remember it, make sure that they know exactly what it is. So in this case, the King of Hearts. Once they have that, tell them to go ahead and place it somewhere in the middle of the deck, like this. Okay, and just push it in. Okay. And now, what I like to do is I like to use some sort of distraction. Like I go ahead and I grab the box and I ask them, "Hey, is there anything in the box?" There's nothing in the box. Okay, all right. So you can have them put it in the box or whatever. and I would actually tell them, okay, go ahead and tell the box which card is your card. The box will go ahead and do the magic. So in this case, the card was the King of Hearts, right? And you can then open the box, take the cards out, and then spread. And the card, you'll notice that all the cards are facing in the same direction, except for one card, the King of Hearts. And that, my friends, is the very basic version of the inverted card trick. Okay, so first things first. All right, Ames Andrew, did you understand like the plot? Just like, okay, the magic thing is they pick a card, they put it back in the deck, and then it appears facing in the opposite direction. That's basically the plot. Obi-Wan, welcome in. How's it going? Okay. So if people don't want to be spoiled on that trick, turn away now. Otherwise, I'm going to do the tutorial for this trick right now. Okay, cool. All right, Ames Andrew understands. All right, great. Okay, so tutorial time. There is a secret setup for the trick. You can use a borrowed deck, so that's the impressive part about this. If anybody has ever heard me use the word impromptu, impromptu basically means you can perform the trick with a borrowed deck. Tutorial? Wow, yes. Yeah, if you scroll up in chat, you might see Ames Andrew's request, and so I was like, yeah, I can teach this one. Also, if anybody wasn't able to attend TwitchCon, I did reveal this trick during TwitchCon, so it's not like it's like super new or secretive or anything. But okay, so the secret of this trick is that there's a secret setup. The secret setup is literally one card on the bottom of the deck facing in the opposite direction. So when you start the trick, you have your deck already set up. In my case, I can secretly get into this position without drawing any attention, but for you, if you want to set it up ahead of time, at this point what you'll have is you'll have the entire deck face down, except for one card at the bottom facing up. Now when you have them pick a card, you can go ahead and fan through the card. You don't want to do this if you know you're going to accidentally spread the bottom card. You basically don't want them to see that. That's the only thing you don't want them to do. But if you are good at doing some control, like I just spread there, but you can have them take literally any card. Now while they're taking a look at this card, so in this case it'll be 4 of clubs, you secretly need to turn the deck over. So however you do that. When I was a kid, I would do things like, stick it underneath the table, then I flipped it over, and now we're in this state. Okay, but as a magician, I now try and do everything like on camera or in front of their eyes. Once again, if you're in person, it's a lot easier to get away with stuff because you can redirect attention. A lot of people say it's misdirection, but I'm not saying, hey, look over there. Like a lot of people think that that's what magicians do, but it's actually controlling your attention. So one of the easiest things that I did on camera right here, and I'll reveal that, is if you look back during that performance, I held this up to say, okay, it doesn't matter that I know what it is. I held it up directly in front of the deck, and then I turned the deck over behind it. So while we were looking at the King of Hearts during the performance, I just turned it over, you know. So like if I give you the exposed view, right, it was basically just this. So now we're in the situation where that one card is face down on the top, and then all of the other cards are face up. But usually while they're looking at the card, you know, if you need more time, be like, okay, make sure you show all your friends or show everybody, you know. Then you have them go ahead and put the card back into the middle. Now I've had some quote-unquote trolley people, and you say, put it back in somewhere in the middle, and they try and put it like on the top or on the bottom or something. So, no. You sell it, no, that's not the middle. Do it again, and then you tell them to put it in the middle. So if they get a little trolley, if they do it a second or third time, just put it in the deck for them. But I think if you're dealing with extremely young kids, they'll probably follow your instructions, unless they're really misbehaved kids, I guess. So they're going to go ahead and put it somewhere into the middle, and you can push it in for them, but as a convincer, I go ahead and tell them to go ahead and push it in. One thing to note while they're pushing it in, make sure that you keep your hand along all three sides, because if you're not protecting all three sides and they accidentally like move some cards or something, you'll expose the state of the deck, and that's basically what you want to avoid. So I'm basically holding it, it's firm, and no cards are going to slip through either side or the back, and they push it in. So that's a clean push at this point. Now, at some point, you need to now flip the deck back over. So here's the state of the deck before you flip it. You're going to have all the cards face up, their card that they chose, and then the one card that's hiding the fact that the deck is face up. Okay. Now, so you secretly find a way to flip it over. What I did during the performance was I used the card box. And so naturally, if you have a deck, you'll probably have a card box, and just be like, hey, I just want you to make sure that there's nothing in the box, right? While they're looking at the box, or while you placed it in front of their face, that's a great time to just turn it over. So I've just turned it over, so I know that all the cards are face down, except for the selection somewhere in the middle, and then the one card that's hiding at the bottom. Sneaky, sneaky, says Chan. Yes! Now, you don't have to do the whole thing with the box, but there's one concept in Magic that if you can separate the dirty business, so all the stuff that you did in flipping the deck and all of that, and the card selection, they call it temporal misdirection. So if you add time between that and when you reveal, they will not be able to mentally reconnect the dots and make things deduce basically how it's done as easily. Now in this trick, like especially a lot of people who are older, it's like, oh, how did you turn all the cards around in the deck? Oh, no. You probably put the card in while the deck's facing the opposite direction. I think a lot of older people can probably figure out how that aspect of the trick is done. But for younger kids, they're not gonna know. But I've done this to like college kids, and what I did was I put the cards into the box. And I tell them, all right guys, I don't know how to do this trick, but the box knows how to do the trick. And you can make up whatever story you want, but basically the more time that you put between you flipping over the deck and them picking the card and then the final reveal, the more convincing it will be. So, okay, and now here we are. So you tell them, okay, go ahead and tell the box what the card is. Thanks a bunch for sharing. Yeah, fun bit to do, learning, and it'll blow her mind. Yes, for sure. I would just say, just do a little bit of practice, a couple practice runs. I mean, if you're doing it for a really young kid, you probably don't need to make it perfect, but just explaining the instructions perfectly, that's fine. So at this point, they'll tell them, oh, 4 of clubs. All right, the box has already done the magic. So now you open up the deck, you pull it out, and then now you'll be able to scroll through and show them, the deck. You'll notice that all the cards are facing the same direction, except for one. Now, importantly, we're in a state in which the deck is dirty. We call deck or hands dirty or clean, depending on if there's some magical bit that we don't want somebody else to see. So right now we're in a dirty state because this bottom card is still facing in the opposite direction. So basically you can spread through the quote-unquote whole deck, just don't show that bottom card. And then peel this out. Usually they want to look at this right away, and then if they want to look at the deck, you can just clean this up in a nonchalant way, just like, so what I would do is I would just flip the bottom card over underneath the cover of the deck, and then that's how you can clean up. But most of the time, if they're like impressed with this, I mean, you can just do it super casually and just be like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna take the card and just stick it back on the bottom. Like, that's that. Okay, so that is how to perform the inverted card trick the basic way. Okay, so you'll notice that while I was showing you that, the deck was in a dirty state the entire time. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can perform this in a slightly less weird way, or limited way. So once again, we have somebody select something. It doesn't matter what it is, but so now I'll do the full version, the one for magicians, and you'll know a couple of things. So like, hey, look, he has got his hand behind But anyway, so okay, we have the other red king. So we have the king of diamonds, right? And so importantly, I tell people, okay, hey, go ahead and look at the card, show your friends, okay? Now, there's a concept of things called convincers, which are things that I will show you that will convince you of things. So here, okay, here, I've got the deck right here, okay? So go ahead and place the card into the middle of the deck. So they'll place it in the middle of the deck, they'll push it in, okay? And what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and show them that the deck box is once again empty. I can go ahead and do the whole shenanigans. So here's what I'm going to show you. So look, I'm going to go ahead and place the deck into the box like this. We'll go ahead and tell what the card was. At this point, I shouldn't know what the card is. I actually forgot, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to peel it out. I'm going to pull it out, and because I've done some convincing, right, I can show you that the cards are, the top and bottom cards are facing in the same direction, right? But I like this reveal because as I am going through, you'll notice that all of the cards are face up. All of the cards are face up except for this one. And so now I can, and now I ask them, hey, what was your card? And they can even take this out themselves, and they'll be able to show it is the King of Diamonds. I should remember because I made the joke about it being the king. All right, okay, so that's the first half. And now knowing how this trick is done, what we are going to do is we're going to do something else. And the other half of this trick is how I would perform this here. So you know how the first half of that is done conceptually, minus the convincers that I added to this, right? But look, now if I go ahead and I take the King of Diamonds, and I'm actually going to go ahead and place it face down into the face down deck, right? So like here. I'm going to push that in. And now some people believe that maybe I controlled it to the bottom. I did not. And then some people would believe that I control it maybe to the top. And so, like, you know, I'll show you that it's not the one on the top. But actually, here's the interesting thing about this, because now if I show you, if I scroll through the cards really fast, you'll be able to see that perhaps your card is in there, right? But obviously it would be facing in the same direction. But that's okay, we can do the trick again. And this is the part that is meant to fool people who understand that first half or whatnot. And so, and arguably more interesting for magicians. Not that they could probably figure out how it's done, but like now if I spread, you'll see that there's one card facing the opposite direction. And this is the King of Diamonds. And that, my friends, is my full presentation of the inverted card trick, including tutorial for the first half, but like the easy way. So not only that, I do sometimes feel like it is important to give a glimpse of a little bit of magic so that people can, you know, really appreciate like other tricks. And so I don't mind giving that one away, because that's like, first of all, it's super easy to do, like relatively. So if somebody wants to do it, it's virtually no like sleights, no real sleights. It's basically just like controlling some cards. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Gibson Lens, Charlie's Beats, and Ams Andrew. Thank you for the applause. So Ams Andrew, hopefully you understood the trick, understood the tutorial for the first half of that, and that's like the basic trick. And then hopefully you enjoyed watching the full version, which is the one that you just saw, the one that I just did, which eliminates all of the inconsistencies of that first trick. And then I tack on the second half that does the, I'm now putting the face down card into the face down deck, right? Like, and so now knowing those assumptions, it's like, will you release the VOD? Oh yeah, this will be on the VOD for sure. I don't know if I'll do something about it for the YouTube presentation. So I might take it out of YouTube, but if it'll be on the VOD, then yeah, you can totally watch this on the VOD, no problem. Go ahead. Um, so yeah, if you wanted to rewatch it and learn it and follow along, like that's usually the best thing if you want to learn something, right? So, but yeah, let's see. Sneaky, sneaky. All right, let me catch up with chat. I was kind of following along, but thanks so much. So, okay, all right, yeah, blow her mind. That's right. Awesome. Okay, Mark Wright says, but how did you turn it face up or face down to the deck? Yes. So that is then the question, right? And remember during my discussion about convincers, and so when I was doing this, I was deliberately showing the deck this and that because that's a convincer of that trick. I'm convincing you that all of the cards in the deck are facing in the same direction. Whether it actually is or not, that's up to you to decide. I mean, you can probably deduce during the first half. I mean, you basically know how the first half's done. So I just threw in a couple of other things so that if you know how it's done, based on the tutorial, then it would confuse you because it's like, huh, how did that happen? And then it's like, wait, how did the second part happen, right? So, yeah, they put it in going in the same direction. That's right. And then how did it appear in the opposite direction? So that's, yeah. So it's not like I was itching to tell everybody all the things, but I've prepared that as like the thing to share with everybody. I had some other things like I taught people how to do the snap change at TwitchCon as well. Or no, I didn't teach snap change. I taught the twirl change or the because the twirl change is easier to do. So snap change is actually hard. The snap change takes like practice. All right. Hey, Ricky Charms, welcome in. How's it going? They're all facing the same. You've convinced me. I mean, yeah. Hey, what's up? Says Ricky Charms. Welcome in. How's it going? Not much chilling. How about you? All right. Here's my social security number. You've convinced me, Ricky Charms. JK. Yeah, full disclosure. Don't share any PII. So PII is personally identifiable information. I mean, I guess there are some pieces that we know, but most of the people who stream, if they share their name, I mean, that's what we know. But otherwise, yeah, I have to warn you, don't share PII or anything else. It's against Twitch TOS. All right. Hey, checking the gaff meter. Hello. How's it going? Welcome in. Hi. I'm going to have Google inverted card. You've whet my appetite. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's officially what it's called. I know that there's a lot of things, but Mark Rides, if you haven't found anything good for it after the fact, I mean, I felt like that tutorial was pretty good, but if you need something like shorter, I understand, like, because I was taking my time, and let me know. I probably have found a tutorial for it. I can send you one, so remind me if you haven't. Okay, so all right, so here's a color change. So in this case, I'm going to change the 6 of hearts into the 7 of clubs. So that was the one that I taught at TwitchCon. So we have the Jack of hearts, and if I just twirl it, it becomes a joker because jokers are wild. Now, some people understand how that's done. I'm probably not going to explain that one. However, then I can go ahead and show people how, you think that if I change it once, I have to change it back. In this case, 9 of clubs to the 3 of hearts. But if I change this back, it doesn't have to be to the 9 of clubs. It can be to the 8 of hearts instead. And I don't have to change it back to the 3 if I don't want to change it to the 5 of clubs. So there we have a series of changes. All right. However, let's see. Trick list is empty, so if anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Also, if you haven't hydrated in a while, please feel free to hydrate. Oh yeah, I almost never address the title when I put a weird day that's like a national day. So let me address it now. Happy National Clam Chowder Day. How did I know? I literally looked it up like 2 minutes before stream. So that's how I know. Anyway, I only mention this because I am originally from New England, and New England has great clam chowder. So I recommend, but only if you're in New England, because it's really hard to get New England clam chowder and have it be good outside of New England. I've tried. It's not as good. So Chan says, "Congrats on 800 followers." Yes, thank you kindly, Chan. Yes, I hit. So I hit 800 followers right after stream last week. So I rated out, and then the people that I rated out to, there's a couple people that then followed. So at the time, we rated out to Aiden Somerville. Scalesers, thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, Scalesers, I don't believe you've signed a card in the new Twitch deck, right? Because I know you signed one in the previous Twitch deck, but I don't know if you know, when you resub, and you haven't signed one in the new Twitch deck, you get to sign a card in the new Twitch deck. So, Ricky Char says, yes, I am. How's your brother? Hawaiian roller coaster. Yeah, I've signed the previous. Okay, cool, awesome. So yeah, let me go ahead. There's, is there a card that you may want? There's a handful of cards that are signed, but there's only like, I think 8 of them or something. So everything else is open. But let me just start pulling out the ones that have already been signed. You can't really choose these ones, but any of these other ones, you are welcome to. And then we will go ahead and sign it. Scalesers! So thank you so much for the support and the sub, Scalesers. Oh, maybe a few more of these have been signed than I thought, but... Oh, here's... Wait, no, okay. Okay, so any of these are open. Give me anything you like. Oh, okay. Well, if there's anything that I would tell you, the cards that are least popular that don't get any love are the high clubs. So like the clubs that are like 8, 9, and 10. I think 7 of clubs is even open. Some people like the 7, so yeah. So these are all the ones that have been signed. These have not been signed. Okay, 9 of clubs, says Scalesers. All right, excellent. So, but now in my mind, I'm going to always be thinking, man, Scalesers gave the high clubs some love because nobody else did. So, but anyway, once again, thank you so much for the sub. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let's Scalesers. All right, here we go. I'm gonna Scalesers. I'm gonna put scale on one side and then Sirs, so we're just gonna kind of go around the middle pip there. Scale Sirs. Okay, there we go. Alright, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much for the support, Scalesers. Alright, there we go. So, let's see. Next up, we have a request from Mark Rides for the Fantastic Four card trick. Arguably a Crazy Asian original. One of my favorite tricks on here. Excellent, thank you. I would hope that at the moment nobody else does it. But you know what? I mean, I would be flattered if I found out other people perform this. So that would be great. Delicious. Also very relevant since the movie cast was announced recently. Oh, no way, for the new Fantastic Four movie? That's awesome. Very relevant. Okay, so in celebration of the new cast being announced, we're going to be doing the Fantastic Four card trick as requested by Mark Rides. Which, by the way, if anybody didn't know, Mark Rides was instrumental for getting this trick on my trick list. I showed it off like once on stream, and then he remembered it for the second time and was like, "Can you do that trick?" I'm like, I could do that trick. And now it's on the trick list. So there we are. Okay, so here we have a spaceship. This is not any spaceship. This is a spaceship that contains everybody who will eventually become one of the Fantastic Four. They are our friends Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. The spaceship goes up into outer space, and they encounter an anomaly. I don't know why the anomaly is now making the sound, because every time I do this trick, I mean, it's silent in space. You can't hear those noises because, it's like a vacuum, so there's no medium for the sound to travel through. But anyway, there you go. But they discover that they now have these strange powers. So we have two of clubs is going to represent Mr. Fantastic. Well, Reed Richards, before he's known as Mr. Fantastic. But if you are aware of their powers, Mr. Fantastic gains the ability to become super stretchy. And he can stretch himself a little bit if I just go ahead and I pull on both ends of him, right? We're going to get a chance to see Reed Richards stretch and stretch and stretch, and he is way longer than a typical card should be. But he can hold the shape just for a little while, so if you take a look, but he can't hold it indefinitely because it's a very new power. His body's not used to it, so it has to end up collapsing at some point. And so that, my friends, is Reed Richards and the power of Mr. Fantastic. Okay, so next we have the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts is going to represent Sue Storm. Now, Sue Storm becomes the Invisible Woman. Now, it's probably because she can turn herself invisible. However, if I tell her to become invisible, she won't. She's like sassy like that. So, Sue Storm, can you become invisible? No? Okay, all right. She'll turn invisible when she is good and ready, and she'll be good and ready when you least expect it. And that was not it, but anyway, so there, she has now become invisible. I don't know if you can tell, you can't see her now. However, when I say, hey, Sue, come back, I mean, she doesn't come back. That's not... So she'll come back when she wants, which I don't know when she wants. I mean, she's sassy like that. So there we are. So now she's come back. Next we have the Eight of Diamonds represents Ben Grimm, who gets superhuman strength and his skin turns to stone, but at the cost of his lovely beauty, which, I'm actually not fully sure what Ben Grimm looked like before, but I'm sure he looked beautiful. But you know what? When he's the Thing, he's still beautiful. Just different. Now, if he's any old Joker, any old Joe Schmo, he won't be able to hold heavy things. People cannot lift this; they'll bend. My phone's pretty heavy. Oh, I don't want to show off any PII or anything. Don't turn on, phone. But now if we tell Ben Grimm, yo, hold the phone, he's going to be able to hold the phone. No problem. Look at that. It's weird having a magic show. Hope that Prime sub worked. Ams Andrew, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I believe you've signed a card in the new deck, but I'll double check after this trick. So, yes. The Prime sub did work. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, Ben Grimm, superpower, is super strength, can hold the phone, does not bend. If you were here, you could try and bend it. It does not bend very well. As opposed to, like, the Joe Schmo, you could bend it really easily. So, anyway, that is Ben Grimm. And then finally, we have our Sue Storm's little brother. I think he's a little brother. Johnny Storm, going to be represented by the Seven of Spades. Now, he has to say flame on, and he's going to become the Human Torch. And so, flame on! He actually becomes bright red, and he's on fire. But he doesn't say on fire forever. He has to, flame off. I don't know if he says that or it just stops. But when he does that, he becomes a very smoky version of himself. So a very, very smoky version of himself. And so, yeah, that is Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And so, anyway, now with all of their newfound powers, they realize that by the time they get back to Earth, they are like, hey, we should probably do something good with our powers. And so they decide to call themselves the Fantastic Four. That, my friends, is the Fantastic Four card trick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And thank you so much for the request, Mark Rides. Alright. Okay. Let me clean this trick up, because if I don't, I will forget to put it in the right order, and everything needs to be in order for this trick to work. Super secret, by the way, I have to have a stack order of this packet. Otherwise, it will mess me up. Alright. Omar Delmar! Welcome in, Omar Delmar. Also, thank you for the follow. I saw that you followed me off stream the other day, so thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Chan says, off to bed. Have a great rest of the stream. Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for coming in. Let's give another shout out to our friend Chan. Guys, if you're not following our friend Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. One of the other few magicians on Twitch that has a regular magic schedule. Chan does sleight of hand card magic on Mondays for Magic Monday, so please give him a follow and catch him tomorrow night. But anyway, Chan, thank you so much. Have a great night. Sleep well. Take care. And we'll see you around. Okay, next. Ams Andrew. Let's see here. Let me go through these cards, and yeah, you have not signed the new Twitch deck. So, Ams Andrew, if you would like to sign one of these cards, these are all of the signed ones, but these ones are unsigned, so feel free to take a look, and you get to sign one of those. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we just did Fantastic Four. Oh, let's see. Chen, are you still here? I can do the ambitious card routine really quick before you go to bed. Or, let's see. Any kings available? We have, yes. We have the King of Diamonds or the King of Spades. Because I think the other two kings are taken. But, yeah, these two kings are open. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you put a heat map? Let me... Okay, King of Diamonds looks juicy. Alright, King of Diamonds it is. Ams Andrew, 13. Alright. So let's go ahead and sign this for Ams Andrew. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do the edge for Ams Andrew. Okay. So, let me see. AMS. Andrew, 13. Okay. There we have it. Thank you so much for the support and the resub. Ams Andrew, there we go. The King of Diamonds. Good choice. Good choice. Okay, and I see the request from Mark Rides for the maximum penetration. Excellent. The card trick, but you want the Doom Henchman version. Alright, okay, cool. So we're going to be doing the Fantastic Four sequel for that one when we get there. Alright, excellent. Okay, alright. We have a juicier King of Diamonds, as Charlie speaks. Alright, okay. So, let's see. First things first, let me find, you know what? Actually, let me find all the kings so that we can use the kings for this here. There it is, okay. Okay, alright. So, let me... Oh. I'm sorry, I am... Okay. I know Chan has left, but I'll still do the ambitious card routine because I love that trick and I do it a lot all the time anyway, so... Okay. Here we have... Oh, let me grab this heat map. Delicious. Okay. Okay, here we have the 4 kings. So, King of Diamonds, King of Spades, King of Hearts, and King of Clubs. Now, what we're going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and do something interesting with these 1, 2, 3, 4 kings. Now, if I go ahead and I turn 2 kings face up and leave 2 kings face down, like this, if I were to close this up and flip it over, you would expect that 2 of the kings will be face up and 2 of the kings face down, right? But if I show you, all of the cards are facing in the same direction. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? Now let's break the first rule of magic and do the same trick twice. So, here, I'm going to go ahead and leave 2 kings face up, 2 kings face down, and there's our new King of Diamonds signed by Ams Andrew. There we go. And if I turn this face down, and I show you, look, all the cards facing the same direction. Now, I know that that's super weird, but I would normally do tricks not really with the kings, but actually with the aces. And you know what? I should have done that with the aces because Charlie's Beats has requested this trick, Hallucination, and he's signed the Ace of Spades, so I should have really used the aces. But Check the Gaff Meter says, that doesn't make sense. I know, that's okay. Look, if I hold the packet and give it a twist, that's actually going to turn one of the kings into an ace. I know, is that strange? That's super strange, right? Now look, if I hold the packet and give it another twist, that's actually going to turn another king into another ace. I know, is that strange? Super strange, right? But look, if I just twist it 1, 2 more times, we're actually going to see that here's 1 ace, 2 ace, 3 ace, and 4 aces, and here's the Ace of Spades, starring Charlie's Beats, the requester of this trick, also in chat right now. Check the Gaff Meter says, OMG, and if you were here, I could go ahead and just show you that there's our aces. Actually, if you're wondering where the kings are, some people believe that the kings are right here on the top of the deck, but if I show you, the kings are not on top of the deck. If I show you the kings, some people might believe that they're on the bottom, they're not on the bottom, but if I go ahead and I just spread... the 4 kings are together, though. They are right here. And if I show you, you know, they are the 4 kings, because here's our signed Ams Andrew, King of Diamonds. So they're the same. That, my friends, is hallucination. Chuck the Happy says, what? That doesn't make... Wait, that doesn't make sense. What? No sense here. OMG. But, where are the kings? And then, holy shit, Ams Andrew was in the box? I mean, look, what Ams Andrew does is his business. But anyway, thank you so much for all of those reactions checking the Gaff Meter. Yes, we have a juicier King of Diamonds, says Charlie's Beats. All right, excellent. Anyway, thank you so much for that request, Charlie's Beats, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, checking the Gaff Meter. Charlie's Beats is lol. That's right. Look, I know everybody is lusting after the juicy King of Diamonds. I mean, that's... I don't know if you can tell, but actually, underneath this cloak, he's wearing a pair of pants. Sweatpants, specifically. And it says juicy along the butt. So that's why this the juicy King of Diamonds, because he's wearing the pants. That's it. You will have to wait till stream 169. Yes. So good news, bad news. Bad news, we're quite a ways away from 169. But good news, we have potentially 2 opportunities for stream 169, because so today, according to my spreadsheet, this is actually stream number 106 today, But if we're only counting magic streams, this is magic stream number 82. So depending on how you count, but we could conceivably hit, the real stream, the magic stream 169, once, and then we could actually hit magic stream number 169 a little bit later. So there you go. That's the potential, yeah, of that. Okay, so that was hallucination. We could hit 138, which is 269. I mean, yes, that's true as well. I don't know. I don't know how special that would be. It's like, hey guys, it's 138. You know what that means? 269. I mean, I guess it's all in the marketing, right? That's okay. Let's see here. All right. Let me perform the ambitious card routine as requested by Chan the Magic Man, even though I know Chan went to bed. So we'll do it. I can clip it or highlight it and send it to him later. But you know what? In honor of Chan and requesting this, and so for those of you who didn't know, Chan the Magic Man recently went to the other side of the world, to Cambodia, on personal travel, and then he's come back. So here we have Chan the Magic Man. Let's pretend the top of the deck is the United States, and all through the deck. So let's pretend Chan goes to the other side of the world, to Cambodia. After he's done visiting, he manages to come back to the United States. And I've heard that in the past he's traveled to Cambodia before because he is Cambodian. So let's pretend he makes another trip another year. And as we can see, you might notice that maybe he wasn't streaming on the normal schedule, just a little bit different because, he's not here in the United States. But eventually, he's come back because look, there's our friend Chan the Magic Man. Now, sometimes Chan the Magic Man, we see him go to the airport. We're going to leave him at the airport. You'll know he's at the airport because, that's Chan at the airport. And then sometimes you have to make a couple of connecting flights. So perhaps this is like a connecting flight in Japan, and then this is some connecting flight, somewhere else. However, and he hasn't arrived anywhere yet because if we take a look, he's not in the United States or Cambodia. But eventually, he comes back from his trip after he's done because look, he actually comes back to the United States. And that, my friends, is the ambitious card routine themed as Traveling Chan the Magic Man. And that is that. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll clip that. Hopefully Chan enjoys it. So, all right. Hey, Kaner Keys, how's it going? Welcome in. Yo, sup, bro? Sup? How's it going? How you doing, Jimmy? Are you okay if I still call you Jimmy? I know it's not in your user name anymore, but all good, my bro. And you? I'm doing pretty well mostly. Last week I was sick, but otherwise I'm mostly fine. I would say I'm feeling pretty chill. Haha, don't worry. All right, awesome, cool. Let's see. So we have a request from Mark Rides, and we are going to be performing the Fantastic Four version of this trick. Jimmy says, I miss you playing video games. Oh, yeah. You know what? I would love to stream more video games, but the video games that I get a chance to play now is super intermittent, and because I don't know when my kid's gonna randomly wake up in the middle of the night and I have to run up. So I don't want to like have to run. Also during the week I tend to be really tired, and so it's really hard for me to justify. All right, I'm gonna play games. I'll have to be on for a bit. I can't just step away. I feel. By the way, I'm sure I can step away, and I understand people have streams and they have to do stuff, but it's like I feel bad having to do it. So it's like, eh. Which games? All right. So as of late, I've been playing Cobalt Core. I basically beat that. There's only like one other thing I want to do in it, but I unlocked all the characters, all the ships. It's like a strategy roguelike game, deck building, but it's in space. I'm playing Backpack Hero, so it's like inventory management with a backpack that grows over time as you level up. But you have to arrange things in your backpack in like super crazy Tetris-y way to get like the most optimal. So it's like, here's a sword. When you click on it, it deals damage. You can only click on it 3 times in a turn. But if you place this special gem next to it, it gives it +1 damage. And if you put this crazy thing next to it, it'll let you use it twice per turn more or something. And it's like, these crazy combos. For Mark Wright says, move the crib to the game room and you can watch your kid and game simultaneously. No, it's not a matter of watching. Like, I have a good baby monitor and stuff. It's just that I would have to leave the setup to stop streaming and gaming to get up there. So, oh, nice, fun games. Yeah, so those are the games that I'm playing. But like, they're also super episodic, and it's like, I know it'd be bad to like end a stream in the middle of a run. And I'm like, I know I would do that because I've had to, like, I'm like, oh, it's super late, I have to go to bed. And I'm just disciplined enough that I can just stop myself from doing that. And I know if I was streaming, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I've also been trying to go to bed a little bit early, so earlier as well. But anyway, all right. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I have to set up for the stream. Hang on, I have not even gotten there yet. Let me... I'm having trouble just finding basic cards in the deck. Okay, let me... One more. Okay. Alright, now I need to find the jokers. Okay. Alright, there we go. Fun games. I see, yeah. And at the end of and sometimes even late at night, I'm like, I have to work still, because like I'll end my day early a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta make up like an hour here or something. So it'd be tough to have a regular schedule. Also, the other days that I would be able to, like Wednesday nights, I have a standing Zoom call with my old bar friends that I would go to the bar with, but since pandemic and we had kids and stuff, so a lot of people can't go out anymore, so we just have a Zoom call to catch up. So Mark Wright says, with the kid in the same room, it would be a matter of spinning your chair off camera and say, change the diaper, then spinning the chair. No, oh, no. It wouldn't be like that. As far as like changing the diaper, it's actually, first of all, my kid is she's able to sleep through the night, and we don't have to change her at all anymore. So she's a toddler. She's almost, I would say, almost potty trained, because she can tell us when she needs to pee and poop, but she doesn't actually want to tell us all the times she pees and poops. So that's a different struggle. But also, no, it's mostly just like she wakes up in the middle of the night. She gets scared because nobody's there in the room, and so basically one of us has to run in and lay down in there until she falls back asleep. That's basically it. Because if we don't, then she'll cry, and then she'll start like running around in the room, and then she won't get back to sleep and that kind of thing. So it's like, so it's not like a logistical thing, like she's a toddler now. She's not a baby anymore, so it's like, it's not the I need to be there to change a diaper and like pat her, and then she'll go back to sleep. It's the, oh, if I don't attend to her, she will just stay awake because she's like, I'm awake, don't want to sleep. Or I need to have somebody because I'm scared to be... I don't think she's afraid of the dark, but she's afraid maybe to be alone in the dark kind of thing. So, I don't know. Anyway, real life, I mean, as I've told people in the past, like, I am a father before I'm a streamer. And I do a ton of things, so, like, I I'm a dad. I work a regular day job. I still make YouTube videos, and I stream once a week. And you know what? I'm not gonna get burned out streaming once a week. But if I stream more, I could get burned out. Like when I was doing my Sea of Stars thing, I'm like, I'm gonna try and get there. And you know what? I think I did a great job, but I got tired some of those nights because I'm like, I definitely shouldn't have stayed up late to play this far. But I did because I was like, story wise, super close to something, or I was streaming and it's like, okay, this is natural good stuff. Gotta run crazy. Have a good night, and thanks for the magic. Thank you for being here, Ricky Charms. Have a glorious night. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you around. Okay. So anyway, enough of my excuses. I'm just explaining, this. So that's the thing. So I'm sure one day I can get back to it, but today is not that day. To be fair, I'd probably be more likely able to go out for evening excursions during the week to socialize probably before I end up doing more streams at this point, because I think that's probably what I need. I miss hanging out. I noticed that I miss hanging out with my in real life friends, and I'm like, and my wife even called me on it. She was like, "You used to do this all the time, and now you don't do it at all." And I'm like, "Yes, because kid and work." And she's like, "You need to start doing that soon." And it's like, I think the countdown's like, we're probably months away, so we'll see. Anyway, here we have a bunch of cards. So here's a bunch of cards, and then we have a box. I don't want you to think of these cards as just any cards, and I don't want you to think of this box as a box. So this box is Dr. Doom's laboratory. Currently it is empty. Nobody is in there. But these cards we have, here we have a couple of jokers, but they're not any jokers. They are henchmen. They're Dr. Doom's henchmen, and they're going to try and capture the Fantastic Four. So, and here's the thing: we have here's 3 of them. We have the Ace, the 2, and the 3. So we'll have Johnny Storm, Mr. Fantastic, and Ben Grimm. You're probably wondering where the Invisible Woman is. We'll get to that. So first things first, the henchmen end up finding Johnny Storm all by himself. And so here we have the 2 henchmen surrounding Johnny Storm. Now, here's the thing. Even though the 2 henchmen surround Johnny Storm's going to find a way to escape and slip through the grasp of these 2 henchmen. Because look, they were unable to keep their hands around Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. All he had to do was say "Flame on!" and they were ah. Okay. Next, we have Mr. Fantastic, and aka Reed Richards. And what's going to happen here is that Reed Richards, he has the power to stretch himself. Now, very clearly the henchmen surround him. But what's going to happen is that he's going to slip through the cracks using his powers of stretching, and the 2 henchmen can't hold on to him. Hold on, my hands are up here. Power up, Punk! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. So, power up, Punk and crew. I am in the middle of a trick. I'll wrap this up, and then we'll give you a formal welcome. So, currently we're doing a trick. It is called Maximum Penetration, the card trick, but I'm theming it as though it is Fantastic Four. So, we have 2 jokers that are the henchmen. We had Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. We had Mr. Fantastic, with Reed Richards, and then we have the Thing. So here, the 3 of Diamonds is going to represent Ben Grimm, the Thing, and so the 2 henchmen are going to grab the Thing and place the Thing, aka Ben Grimm, into Dr. Doom's empty laboratory. So there's nothing in here. So once again, the 2 henchmen will grab and place Ben Grimm into the laboratory. Now, Ben Grimm gets the power of super strength, and if you didn't know, he can smash his way out of things, and so it's clobbering time, and he can smash his way through out the laboratory. He just makes a hole in the side, and there is Ben Grimm. Now, if we take a look and we try and look for the two henchmen, we find that the two henchmen have completely disappeared because they have been dispatched by the invisible woman. Because if we take a look, we couldn't see her before, the 4 of diamonds, but here she is now, dispatched the 2 henchmen. And now if we go ahead and take a look in Dr. Doom's laboratory, we would expect that that's where the henchmen would have gone back to. But no, that's not. We end up finding just one card in there, and that is Dr. Doom. There's no henchmen because they've been dealt with. And that, my friends, is maximum penetration card trick, specifically themed as Fantastic Four. So, all right, cool. Woo! Anyway, there we have it. Anyway, thank you so much for the raid, Power Up Punk. How are you doing today? Thank you for bringing your community over. How is your stream today, Power Up Punk? What were we doing today? Were you streaming Baldur's Gate 3? Okay. That's what the thing says, so I imagine that's what you were doing. It was great playing Baldur's Gate 3. Yes, all right. It was right. It worked. Okay, excellent. So, all right. So, let me introduce myself to the Raiders if you have not met me before. Hi, my name is Nam, also known as Crazy Asian, spelled with a K, 2 E's, and 3 N's. And I like to do sleight of hand card magic. And that's basically what I do here on Sleight of Hand Sundays. So, Power Punk says, first playthrough going well. Excellent. I've heard it is a wonderful game. I have not played it. I don't really have time to play Baldur's Gate 3. So, a lot of the games that I talked about playing earlier, they're all like short roguelike strategy. It's so good, says Power Punk. I know. I mean, it won Game of the Year. I don't think just any game can win Game of the Year. So, it's let's see. Welcome in, Dinkbat. How's it going? All right. So, let's see. I know that people who stream it, who just come in, and if you're not familiar with card tricks, you may not know the names of card tricks or anything. But I do have a trick list. I use a StreamerSonglist, and I've basically put magic tricks in there. So if you would like to request something for the raid, Power Up Punk, feel free. And if you just want me to pick something for you, I can. I would like to perform something for the raiders. Actually, you know what? There's a trick that I would show people just if I met them for the first time. I would show them this one. So maybe I'll just request this one. So we'll do this one for the raiders, and then once again, Power Up Punk, if you would like to request a trick, feel free. And if otherwise, I'll do this one, and then of course we'll continue with the trick list if there's other requests after that. I guess I'm thinking about wrapping up stream probably in about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes, so we can get a few tricks in between now and then. Okay, Restless Lady, says Power Up Punk. Alright, cool. So we'll do this one, and then we'll also do Restless Lady. Okay. Alright, sounds good. Alright, so here's the first one. This one will be twisting the aces for the Raiders, and then Restless Lady for our, as a request for our Raider. Okay, so. Okay. So normally I would do this with the aces, but you can do it with anything because the sevens are lucky, so why not? I have the 4 sevens here, and I want to do something interesting with the sevens. This is also a fast trick, so it's not like it's going to take too long. So if I turned all the cards, if I turned a 7 face up like this, that'd be cheating because that's how normal people would do it. I need to turn 7s face up, but in a more magical way. If I hold the packet and give it a twist, that twist is actually going to turn up one of the 7s, so in this case the 7 of hearts. And now here's the part that gets people. I'm going to hold the packet and give it a magical twist. That 7 of hearts is going to turn itself face down. 7 of clubs is going to turn itself face up. I know, it's really hard to believe, but here it is. Super weird, right? That's super weird. Now here's the thing. Even if I hold the packet and give it another magical twist, that's actually going to turn up the 7 of diamonds. I know. Is that bizarre? That's super bizarre, right? And now we have one. I'm fine.
Yes.
Now, I'll wait for the that to clear on the screen. Thank you for the mind blowing, Jimmy. And so now we have one more 7 left, the 7 of spades. I swear the 7 of spades is magically resistant. Because if I show you, look, all the cards are face down. But even if I give it one magical twist, 7 of spades still doesn't know how to turn itself face up. And I think it's because for the aces, the pip is gigantic. And so I think the 7 is probably just taking its hint a little bit. So even though we give 2 magical twists, that's still not enough magic to turn it face up. But look, if I just if I try to bribe it with some money, with some big money. So here's some big money. There's big money. That's 7 of spades. Sorry, yeah, 7 of spades is gonna turn itself face up real fast. Real fast. There we go. You talk about big money, 7 of spades. We'll listen to you. All right. Thank you kindly for the emotes, Jimmy, Omar, and thank you for the mind blown, Jimmy. All right, let me prep for the next trick, the restless lady. Thank you kindly for the applause, Jimmy, and thank you kindly for the emotes, Power Up Punk. Hopefully you and the Raiders enjoyed that. So that was a quick one. Restless Lady is a little bit longer, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. And you know what? I can use. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta find. I can use a lady for this. I'll use the queen. Okay. All right. Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes, Jimmy, Mark Rides. All right. Here we go. Okay. So here we have a bunch of cards. We have the 6, 7, 8, 9 of diamonds and the Queen of Spades. The Queen of Spades will represent our restless lady. So here, if I go ahead and I try and remove the lady from the group of the diamonds, so maybe we find out that the Queen of Spades, she seems like maybe she's a gold digger, i.e. diamonds. And so here's the thing, if we just give the Queen of Spades a chance to reconnect with all of the diamonds, like so, she will hop back in here without you noticing. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? So now here's the thing, if we go ahead and try and remove the Queen of Spades once again from the diamonds, all we have to do is give the Queen of Spades some avenue for jumping back into the diamonds, like so, and she will hop back in here because there she is. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? So even if we try and remove her once again, we have just a couple of diamonds. But look, we just have to give her an avenue for getting back in with all the diamonds. And there she is. She is back amongst the diamonds. Now, look, this is not her, but all we have to do is just give her a chance and she will reappear, actually. Thank you for the magical heat map. I'm just going to go ahead and delicious. Because now, if you take a look, you'll see her everywhere because she ends up being in each and every everywhere. Because look, you'll see the Queen of Spades there, 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 and of course you'll see the Queen of Spades there. Now here's the thing. If we go ahead and I grab the Queen of Spades and place her over here, you'll see that at some point all of the diamonds get together and they talk, and they discover, oh, Queen of Spades, she's not a gold digger. She just is super enthusiastic about the community, wants to hang out and just get to know everything in the industry, whatever industry it may be. And so at some point she's no longer the outsider. She doesn't look like the Queen of Spades to them anymore. She ends up becoming part of the crew, and so she is now the Queen of Diamonds to match all the diamonds. And that, my friends, is the Restless Lady. She's an industry lady. Wink, says Power Up Punk. I mean, whatever industry, could be the restaurant industry, could be the movie industry, or could be the movie industry. Like, I don't know. Dinkbat said she's a professional gamer. All right, yeah, she's pro gamer. That's right. That's exactly what she is. Jimmy says that was me. Okay, all right. Oh, the heat map was you. Okay, all right. I got it. All right, excellent. Anyway, thank you so much for the raid, Power Up Punk, and thank you so much for the request. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for bringing your community over. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. I think my pleasure, sir. Thank you kindly. Greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's do last call. If anybody would like to see some magic, now's the time to request something. If you don't know what to request and you would like to request something, you do !random. It'll randomly put a trick in the list. Let's see. In the interim, let me do something really quick. Let's do the coin matrix. Okay, so we have 4 coins, and I will need 4 cards as well. Okay, just make a square. So 4 cards. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and slowly cover each of the coins with a card. And the thing is, we're going to go ahead and try and do something super interesting. We're going to try and move around some of these coins, but hopefully in a magical way. So look, I'm going to move this one from here to here. Ready? There's 1. Move this one up there. There's 2, and then move this last one. 3. And that, my friends, is the coin matrix. All right. Okay. Yeah, I felt like I hadn't done that one in a bit, so nice to get some practice for that one. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was the basic coin matrix. Alright, we have a couple of other tricks in there. Normally I would also choose a finale, but actually McDonald's Aces seems like it might be a good one to end on. So if, alright, I'll do this trick. If there's any other tricks requested, I'll probably move those to before McDonald's Aces, and then we'll probably do McDonald's Aces last. That sounds good. Okay. Alright, checking the gaff meter. Thank you for the request. You can't choose this card. Alright, checking the gaff meter. You have a choice. What card can't we choose? I'll let you pick. I know, it's antithetical to the name of the trick, but if we can't pick... Actually, wait, where's checking the gaff meter? You signed a 4, right? Okay. So maybe you can't choose the 4 of spades. How's that? Does that sound good? Yeah, let's do that, because we need to use checking the gaff meter's card in the trick that checking the gaff meter requested. Okay, cool. So we'll do it that way. Okay, I'm here. Sorry, did you ask me a question? I mean, I did, but it's okay. I think we'll just use the checking the gaff meter card. That way it is nice and simple. So, all right. Here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay out all the cards. And all you have to do is pick out which card is that card by the end of the trick. So in this case, it's going to be the 4 of spades with checking the gaff meter that's signed here. So 4 of spades. So I want you to pick the one that you think it is actually. Okay. Once again, I want you to pick the checking the gaff meter 4 of spades. Okay, so wherever I end up actually putting that, I want you to figure out where the checking the gaff meter 4 of spades is. And once again, I just want you to see that we have the checking the gaff meter 4 of spades, and you're probably thinking, oh, could it be possibly everywhere? And the answer is, well, yes, but it's also signed, so it'd be very hard to forge, right? So, look, I'm going to lay out these 4 cards, and you tell me which one is the checking the gaff meter signed 4 of spades. Alright, for anybody who wants to play along, if you're on desktop, you can click directly on the screen, and that will place a heat map marker. If you want to play along and you're not on desktop, you can put a number in chat if you would like. Or if you want to play along but you don't want to share your answer with anybody, just go ahead and pick a number now where you think that the 4 of spades is. Okay, it looks like we've got one on 4, we've got one on 1. So here we go. And not to spoil the trick or anything, but if you looked at the name of the trick. Alright, so for those of you who guessed that the 4 of spades is under the 1, I'm sorry, but we have not, you will not, nope, that is actually an 8 of clubs. My apologies. And let's see, also, if you guessed number 4, well, you know, it might make sense, right? Because of the 4 of spades under the 4. So if you guessed 4, I'm sorry, you did not win. Alright, tell you what, if you get this correct, if you guess correctly under the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, where it is, I'll give you a sub. Alright, here we go. Nobody guessed 2. Nope, that's a joker. My apologies. And nobody guessed 3, so I guess nobody... Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually a jack of hearts. So there's actually no way you could have chosen this. So anyway, the name of the trick is you can't choose, and in this case, you can't choose the 4 of spades. That, my friends, is you can't choose the 4 of spades, signed by checking the gaff meter. That was requested by checking the gaff meter. So thank you so much for the request. Checking the gaff meter, greatly appreciate it. Let me go ahead and eat this heat map. Delicious. Now you're probably wondering where it is, right? So what I'm going to tell you is it is not here amongst these 4 cards, because it is now right here. There we are. There it is. Checking the gaff meter signed 4 of spades. There you are. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, there we are. Thank you kindly for the claps and the mind blown checking the gaff meter. And Omar, thank you kindly for the ninja star. There you go. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to close the queue. Let me see here. So McDonald's aces. All right. So just to let everybody know, if I mess up McDonald's aces, it will not be my last trick because I don't like ending on a trick that I mess up on. But if I do it fine, it'll be a good finisher. Okay. So it's about that time of stream, and so I want to thank everybody who has come out to say hi and hang out. Thank you so much to Power Up Punk for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to everybody who participated. So if you requested a trick, chatted in chat, clicked on the heat map, gave me suits. Thank you to everybody who helped support me. So especially you guys who got to sign a card today. Thank you for the resubs. Greatly appreciate it. And then also thank you so much to all of the lurkers out there, because if I'm just here fiddling with cards, there's no magic happening. So the magic happens in your mind. So thank you so much. Also, let's thank our mod, Gibson Lens. So give a shout out to Gibson Lens. If you're not following Gibson Lens, please give Gibson Lens a follow. Gibson Lens plays piano, and usually it's a very chill vibe, and he's technically very good. So greatly appreciate so honestly, when I'm in Gibson Lens's stream, I'm like, all right, I know I can mostly chill and relax, and like, even though I'm sometimes doing other things at the same time, but I'm like, I know I can do that. It's like, so, but yeah, it's a good time. Let's see, what else? I'm going to say the disclaimer today. So everything that you've seen on stream today, I did not sign any deals with the devil. I still have my soul, as far as I know. I don't do black magic or sorcery. It is all sleight of hand card magic, or coin magic, but it's all sleight of hand, so you can achieve all of this with sleight of hand. And even if it was real magic, I would probably still have to claim that it was all sleight of hand still anyway. Just anyway, that is that. Okay. Also, I normally stream Sunday nights if you want to catch me again, but if you want to see more magic and I'm not around, check out my YouTube. All of my VODs that end up falling off of Twitch, I end up putting on YouTube. I also put out a new magic trick performance on Mondays every week, so I've been trying to keep that up. I haven't missed one yet, but I feel like I might miss one soon, so we'll see. Let's see. And then other than that, I think that's it, right? Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and perform McDonald's Aces. If I do it well, we'll find somebody to raid. All right. Okay, so first things first, let me grab cards, and we're going to need the aces. We can't have McDonald's Aces without aces, so that would be a little weird. Okay, so there we have the aces, and then what I want to do is I forget how I lay this out. Do I lay this out like this? Okay, we'll lay it out like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place 3 cards onto each ace. Okay, like this. Okay, now we are going to slowly but surely try and get all of the aces to gather together. So here, you'll see that the ace of hearts is here, but it will disappear. Because now look, there's no ace here, and there's no ace here. Now, that was just the first pile. Let's go ahead and do this one. So once again, you'll still see the ace there. You'll see it up until the very last second, up until I've exchanged it, because you won't be able to see it now, because it is gone. There's no aces over here. And then finally this last one. So here's what we'll do with this one. Let's go ahead and place this into this packet like this. And you're still going to see that the ace is here, like so. But look. Ace is gone. And of course, there are 4 cards down here, and we knew that the ace of spades was here, but all of the aces have gathered down here. Hey, welcome in, Chris M. Yee. How's it going? And thank you so much for the resub. All right. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Welcome in. Just in time for the finale trick. So, good. How are you? Says Chris. I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. Life's good. So yeah, that was. So I know that was the finale trick. But Chris, if you just came in, I guess I could do a second finale. Dang, just missed you. All right. So tell you what, everybody. We'll do one more finale trick. This was the one I was going to do if that was not selected. So let's do it. So we'll go ahead and do this trick as our finale trick, and then we will call it a stream. But anyway, Chris, thank you so much for the resub. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see here. Where are card tricks? Where did I do it? What is going on? Okay, there we go. Okay, this will be our finale trick. Oh yeah, but anyway, just to double verify, I know that you've signed the 2 of spades, but now I'm trying to get in the habit, if somebody resubs, make sure that they have a card signed. Guys, our friend Chris M. Yee, the 2 of spades. If you're not following our friend Chris M. Yee, please give Chris M. Yee a follow. Variety gamer, plays a bunch of different video games, normally Fall Guys on Mondays, but also Chris M. Yee is the host of the Clip M. Yee Show. So yeah, if you guys aren't following Chris M. Yee, please give Chris M. Yee a follow. There we go. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Dazed. Oh wait, let me go ahead and eat this heat map. Delicious. Okay. All right. Here I have some cards. We have a 6 of diamonds, a queen of clubs, and then 4 other cards. But these cards are going to seem normal when I thumb through them right here like this until I turn the packet over, and you'll notice that they are all double-backed cards. That's super... Oh, all of them except for this one. This one's a little bit weird. This one doesn't have a face. This is kind of like how the cards are at the factory. They know what all the backs will look like. It was before they get a face printed on it. Face of the card, not like somebody's face. That'd be weird. But these other cards have a strange property though. So if I go ahead and I grab these cards, and I like if I pull over the 6 of diamonds, for example, if I just hover it over the 6 of diamonds, the property is that they will reflect it like a mirror, and not just like a mirror, but all of the cards will become 6 of diamonds. I know, that's super weird, right? And once again, if I go ahead and I take the packet and I hover it over this queen of clubs, some people will think, oh hey, it'll reflect the queen of clubs. But we know what happens. We know what happens. All of the cards are going to turn into queen of clubs. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? That shouldn't happen. Now, we know that they're all queen of clubs right now, right? But what if I was to go ahead and I take this card. And you'll see that there'll still be queens of clubs up until I just turn the card over. And when I turn the card over, that's actually what changes everything, because, as you guessed it, and this is the weird part, because now it's all clear. All of the cards are now blank. That's super weird. And that's where the basic trick ends. And I always do it this way. And a lot of people do ask, hey, show me the backs now, because they're like, the backs are suspicious. And I'm like, okay. And this part I added myself to the basic trick. So, but yeah, those are all the backs. There you go. That, my friends, is Dazed, and we will also call that a successful performance. So there we have it. All right. Whew. Thank you kindly for the claps, Chris M. Yee. Thank you kindly for the claps, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly for the claps. Checking the gaff meter. Thanks for being here, guys. All right. Okay, so let's go find somebody to raid. For those of you who haven't been here before, I normally like to raid, streamer friends. So a lot of them tend to be musicians. Some of them are not, but also depends on my mood as well. So let's see. Where are we going tonight? Anyway, hopefully everybody has a glorious week. Everybody take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. Ooh, hold on. Wait, I see somebody on. They've raided us a bunch. I don't know if I've ever gotten an opportunity to raid them. Let me see. Let me consult my spreadsheet. Yes, I have a streaming spreadsheet. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes. Okay, so they've raided me at least 3 times, and I have never raided them. So, I should raid them. Okay, so this is a community friend in chat. I know that they're also part of Magic Twitch. They have been in some other Magic streams before. So, alright, tonight we're going to be raiding somebody playing a video game, mobile games. And so they are called Aranel Quendi, I think is how you pronounce it, but we just say Aranel because it's simpler. It looks like they've been going for half an hour, so hopefully they're going to be on for a little bit. But let's show some support. And let me see. Let me just make sure I do this command correctly. So we'll be, okay, that's who we'll be raiding. I'll still use the raid command because I don't know how to use the raid UI, even though there's a new raid UI. Oh wait, sorry, I did the wrong thing. Raid. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yeah, if you're coming along for the raid, if you would like to copy a raid call, there's that one, and then there's this one if you're subbed. Oh, thanks for the. All right. So yeah, let's go over and raid Aranel. So tonight it looks like they're playing I Love Hue and Sleep Too. So yeah, they'll be going for about a half an hour. Okay, all right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and it was wonderful to see you. Everybody take care of yourselves, and we'll see you around. All right. Have a glorious day, and take care of yourselves. Bye.